MakingStarWars.net.
Rawr. How's it going? I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. And I got old Sketchy. And I got old Spreezy. Old Sketchy and Spreezy. It's like an old-timey comedy troupe.
No, we know what we sound like. We sound like a jobber WCW tag team. You know what I mean? Like we're just coming in.
Yeah, we're not winning.
We're just coming in so that the Midnight Express can beat the shit out of us, you know.
Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Mask of Darth Vader. That's like the big scoop story thingy of the day from me. And here, let me get it shared over here on the old screen. And so because you make some assumptions, right? Like they're gonna get Hayden Christensen back. They're going to show that pretty face, right? You don't get those old baby blues on screen, not make them yellow. You're going to do that. So anyways, I just thought I would bring a little bit of that news about will they or won't they to it, because we all have our hopes and things don't always go as you think they might. This will answer that. Will they do it or won't they do it? So if you don't like spoilers, you should probably just get the hell out. Just
get
go.
out.
Just go. Just leave.
You just go hang out on make the spoilers too. Damn it! Just go hang out Bespin Bull. Ah shit, Bespin does it, and then hang out Star Wars. Fuck. You know what? Go to StarWars.com. Not one spoiler there. No useful info. No nothing. Not even a release date. Sucks.
You know what I always say.
I like spaceships.
So we have that now. You're welcome.
That's
Internet. Also,
it's gonna be hard to do the George voice after one of those clips. By the way, I'm laughing too much.
Okay, so here we go. Obi-Wan Kenobi Exclusive. The Broken Mask of Darth Vader. Will they or won't they? They will. Twisted and Evil. One of the coolest things that happens in Darth Vader stories is Darth Vader's mask cracks open, showing us a fragment of the hero turned monster behind it. We did see this beat before in a really powerful canon sequence on screen with Star Wars Rebels, Twilight of the Apprentice. That's Star Wars Rebels. Season 2. In that story, Darth Vader and Ahsoka finally meet, but in live action, we have yet to see the helmet of Darth Vader cracked open, showing us Anakin's face, twisted and evil. Will they or won't they? In the chat on this very show, I am continually asked if we will see Darth Vader's mask busted open by Obi-Wan Kenobi during their duels. According to my sources, who showed me the Inquisitor lightsabers and tons of interesting props from the series, so I believe them, I can answer that question with an emphatic yes. Darth Vader will have his mask broken in the limited series by everyone's favorite hello there saying Jedi Knight. Anakin will look at Obi-Wan with his own eye one last time. My sources did not give me the details about how the mask is cracked open during the fight. I mean, it's probably not even that. This probably just gets broken, but showing us the face of Anakin Skywalker beneath it. But sources working on the production did confirm they worked pretty hard on the mask itself and getting it right. It took a few passes on the prototype to show just the right amount of Hayden Christensen's face while still embodying the iconography of Darth Vader, which makes sense, right?
This is one of those things. Mm-hmm. This is one of those things where they talk about how hard it was, and then we went to 501st, and they already had it. Well, turns out one of these guys spent 10 years figuring it out and already had it.
There's like there's angles and stuff where it's going to look really good on Hayden's face though. Like some you put some rando in there, it's not the same face. Like it has.
You can't just shove his face in like I would.
Yeah,
like Daffy Duck tries to shove the genie back in the lamp. Right? You just
he's Canadian, so he's like sorry. So the Anakin Vader hybrid appearance. I know with Hayden Christensen back, it seems like it was a given they would do this Anakin face reveal to Obi-Wan so we can experience his reaction. However, things didn't always go as expected, so I'm glad I'm able to address this moment as actually happening. I think this will play extra well after the flashback to Obi-Wan and Anakin sparring during the Attack of the Clones era sequence. Obi-Wan and Anakin will look fresh and vibrant in the previous chapter of the series because they're de-aged. But when we see them in present tense, Obi-Wan has suffered so much, and Anakin is more machine than man, twisted and evil. I think the flashback sequence has more power when put into this context, as these moments work together in tandem to add a lot of emotional weight. Deborah Chow is showing us, rather than telling us, the last 10 years have changed our Clone Wars heroes. So, strong story work. The last few years have been a bumpy ride for the Kenobi production, but it does seem like the wait will be worth it after the buzz seems to point towards hitting the checkboxes fans want, but with effort to have it make sense and play in a smart way beyond wouldn't it be cool if types of ideas. Those cool ideas are interwoven into the story that actually elevate the narrative instead of distracting from it pointlessly. There are a lot of ideas we can whiteboard for a Kenobi series, but most of them are not going to make a cohesive narrative. I really enjoyed the Book of Boba Fett moment by moment, but I feel it was a mess of fun ideas that rarely sat in harmony with one another. Kenobi seems to have gone another way, with the majority of the cool moments working towards central important narrative ideas. I think we can thank Deborah Chow for making sure the concepts elevated the story and supported the characters, and I'm pretty jazzed by what she has done with Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then I'm telling people there to come hang out with us where you guys already are, so you already know. But make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, let the video play through the whole way. That helps as well. And leave comments if you're not watching it live. And if you are live, rad, but you can become a channel member or a Patreon supporter, and you get audio versions on Patreon. I'll give you the RSS link if you're a channel member and you want it to. Just hit me up and I'll send you that in private. And yeah, so that's our story of the day. I mean, was it a no-brainer to you? To you guys? Are you happy to know? What are your thoughts, you little weirdos?
Definitely thought. It turns me on when you call me a weirdo. By the way, definitely thought we're going to see.
Wait. What? It turns you on?
God, that's hot.
Yeah. Thank you. I was on X-Wing show and he does that. I stole that from X-Wing. So thanks, X-Wing. I think.
I thought I was saying. What was I saying? Yeah, definitely thought we were going to see Hayden's face, his pretty little face. But yeah, I'm glad that you confirmed it, Jason. So yeah, I want to see Obi-Wan beat the shit out of him. So
yeah, you got it coming, man. You got those younglings. We're gonna get you right in the your pretty blue eyes. But right. yeah. It's like this is another one of those moments where it sort of, someone in the comments just said it, actually, what I'm about to say. Yeah. Welcome to the show, none toot. I hope they won't. It would make Ahsoka's fight with Vader less special. And that's a valid point. I don't agree with missing the opportunity here, but this is another one of those examples of something happening in animation that maybe should have been saved. Like, George Lucas probably wouldn't have let them do that animation if he knew they were doing live action stuff. He would have been like, nah. Like, he withholds John Williams from those, you know what I mean? From those shows. Once they got Rebels, they just started John Williams up the whole joint. Because they couldn't wait to do all of the stuff that, like, George wouldn't let them do. But it's like, what's more important? Is it more important that you do this in live action and for Obi-Wan Kenobi, or that you save it for Ahsoka? Because I kind of feel like the Obi-Wan Kenobi relationship is honestly more important. Sure. I love Ahsoka, not trying to take away from that, but I don't know. Does it make it less special?
Dude, I'm telling you, the average fan out there doesn't even know about this.
Yeah. Sure.
You know, they just don't know. Like, and I'm going to say, like, beyond whether something was already done in animation or not, think about this. What would prevent Kenobi from killing Anakin at this age? The only thing that would prevent him from killing Vader is if he cracks the mask and sees that little kid he remembers inside there, and he sees a human. Mm-hmm. That's it. You know, like, you have to show the human part to Obi-Wan. Otherwise, you can kill a faceless death mask coming at you. Yeah. You know? I mean, if you ever walk around Poway at around 2 at.night, someone in a mask will come up. That happened to me. Will come up to you out the fog. So don't do it. Don't pick up anything you bought on on eBay fucking, I did that at 2 a.m. or 12 at night, and these kids in masks showed up. It was the strangest fucking thing.
Were they coming home from like a Slipknot concert or something, or were they there to rob you?
It's 2010, 11. No, they just stood there and watched us buy it. I don't know, man. So like,
That's creepy. That's fucking creepy.
Yeah, kid's probably a DJ now. So, like, I just think that you need a moment like that. And if they go, well, we can't because we did it in a cartoon, that is no reason. That's just not, you never do that. That's like saying, we can't have a Batman movie in which Catwoman finds out Bruce is Batman because we did that in a movie once. Like, is it good for my movie? Doesn't,
Yeah. My take is actually that as much as I loved it in Star Wars Rebels and it was a good moment, maybe they shouldn't have done it in Rebels. Is more of my take. Like, I think that live action takes all. And I would even say it would make more sense that they had saved it for an Ahsoka live action series than doing it in Rebels in that moment. But I think they were so thirsty to prove themselves post George Lucas, post prequels. Episode 7 hadn't come out yet, and Disney's taken over Star Wars, and you have creatives who are finally kind of on their own without George holding their hand. And so I think that they were like wanting those big moments. And I was at Celebration when they showed it theatrically, and at Celebration, and it went over well. It was good. I personally am, as a fan of both shows, I'm okay with this happening twice for both characters in their own sort of self-contained stories. But you got Hayden Christensen back. That's a lot cooler than a cartoon guy.
Shit, yeah.
Visually it was cool, but Hell Satan. Yeah. Oh, actually, I already did it. He got him before the show and said it. Satan can do whatever he wants, pretty much. He's really inherited this earth.
Unfortunately, the one thing Satan can't do is just murder all the Christians.
Oh no!
Here, he can't do it. He's tried. He just can't do that. Everything else, he's
I don't want anybody murdered.
I don't want him to. I'm telling you what he can and can't do. I'm just stating the limits of the being known as Satan. Apparently, he can't do it.
I don't know. I think he'd be tried harder. Nolan says, I hope Obi-Wan gets such a good swipe at Vader's helmet that we see most of Anakin's head and face, and even hear him talk to Obi-Wan without James Earl Jones's voice. Now, that could be pretty rad. I hate you!
That's a real good opportunity for sound design, to have like the mixture of like that electronic with his own voice kind of mixed in there, like
almost like have it like harmonizing under, like the Vader voice sort of like running under,
Yeah, there's a real interesting opportunity there. Not damn it! If they don't do that, I'm gonna be fucking.
No, don't fall in love with your pet theories. That's a big.
It's not. It's just that's an opportunity. It's not a theory. That's just like if you got a scene that there you go. You can have the air and the weird sound, like never been done before.
I know. This is why I will never be a successful YouTuber. Is like watch when other people cover this, they'll be like, yeah, like he's gonna have like his voice under there, and just to be like sparks, like they really sell like these ideas that aren't gonna happen,
and no one remembers.
Well, what it does is it builds up this expectations for something, and then they were able to then knock it down, and they'd be like, Deborah Chow, what are you doing, Debbie? Debbie Downer's more like it.
Deborah Chow for not doing it. It was gonna happen, but they took it out to make it less bleak. That kind of shit. Like,
right. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying is they'll get people pumped about something that isn't going to happen, or in a way it's not. Like that's what's been a very fascinating week or two for me, or watching YouTube commentators, I guess I call them, covering my stories, and then like where I like factually say things, and then they just utterly disregard all of it. I'm like, yeah, this happens in this is Attack of the Clones. Now it's Revenge of the Sith. He's gonna have long hair. It's like, no, I literally say I don't know, and it's not. It's Attack of the Clones. He's 19.
I was looking at Meg's show when you announced some of the bigger stuff, and I was like, I wonder what they're gonna think about this. Mm-hmm. I never read the comments, but this time I'll read it, and everyone's like, oh, cool. Then someone goes, nice theory, and I'm like, theory,
yeah,
like it's so not a theory, folks. Like I can't stress this enough. come back with your humble, your tears, your tear juice, your humble pie, your crow and a cake, whatever it takes. Like, only will all this shit happen like that. Sorry, but that's it. Can't wait.
Yeah, I was
2 months.
I saw some of the comments on one of Meg's recent videos, and someone's like, "We saw Rex in the trailer," and it was like really funny, or not Cody. We saw Cody in the trailer. And
was he hiding in the background like Snarf?
They think that
like you had to find him.
They think that fat ass droid butt that we see in the trailer is Commander Cody's asshole. It's not.
Oh, he's going down on Obi-Wan. You can see it's just a slight bobble.
It's so weird. It's like, yeah, but
stupid.
I mean, I would rather get my Star Wars news from Meg than me too. But I was like, we did like a whole video where like we went over every character. We're like, nope, yep, you're cool, nope, yep. You know what I mean? It was.
Well, she's so good. She gets it all out in like 8 minutes. You know what I mean? She's concise.
Yeah, it takes us like
but
2.5 hours. Yeah. I've never found the G spot. Never found the clitoris either. So I'm trying though.
Trying to avoid all those Jay and Silent Bob jokes right now, my friend.
I can't help it. It's in my DNA.
We were the clit. This is my favorite part of Jay and Silent Bob. We were the clit. It's like a picture of a monkey, right? And he's like, "You're the clit commander." So hold on. We got the license to Jay and Silent Bob. All that stuff in like 2014. And I'm in a room. It's me, like 3 guys, and a female.
Like we got it?
This company I was at. It's called Sea Life. And they're like, "Oh, we got to watch this movie." And I told our director, "She's in the room. I don't think this should be watching it." "No, we got to watch it, man." And I'm like, "I warned you." And when he's like, "Oh, click a minute. I'm just going to flick the little thing."
And then she looks over and she's like, "I have an idea for a shirt. Maybe it says, 'You always go ass to mouth.'"
She goes, I think maybe I should not work on this. I'm like, I tried to tell you guys it's not appropriate. It's not the Winter Soldier. Like, it's not.
Yeah, that stuff isn't for everybody. That's for sure.
Yeah, people are still expecting to see like Jar Jar in the show, and you've said many times that he's not going to be in it, and people are still expecting to see him. People are still expecting to see Watto, Kidstar. They're not in the show, so people want to give people false hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not happening.
They should have named the series Obi-Wan False Hope.
Yeah.
Instead of just before New Hope, it's False Hope.
I mean, from all of the stuff that I have ever heard about this show over the last, how long has it been? It's been since 2018 or 2019.
2019.
2019. I mean, but I was actually hearing like, oh yeah, we're doing it and it's moving forward and here's what I'm, stuff like that. Luke, there aren't avenues that fans are thinking of that Lucasfilm didn't look at, that they didn't consider. You know what I mean? Like that's where it gets like a little bit. I'm totally fine with being critical of the final product, like when they do it, but don't ever think they didn't think like what would happen if this character showed up or if we did this. Like they thought of all of that stuff, and at the end of the day, like what I think we're getting is what was the classiest way to tell this story holistically, using various pieces of good ideas that actually work together. Like it would be fucking great to see Rex and Cody. Like I want to see that. Why would I not want to see it? But if they don't fit in the story or it's like not the right time, then it's just not the right time. It's not the right thing. And like, like you hear people that are like upset about, oh, why are they not using Luke? Why are they using Leia instead and stuff like that? And it's like, because Luke is not a story opportunity. Luke is a story opportunity towards the expected. He watches a kid play pod racing on top of a fucking igloo in the sand. Like, that's not a fucking show. At the end of the day, it's just not.
I watched that. Someone made a YouTube clip where it was like going from the end of Rogue One to Luke looking up at the, cutting to Luke looking up the deleted footage of him looking up at the sky, and he's wearing the Filoni hat, and he goes into he goes into the Tashi station or Anchor, whatever the fuck that is, and tells, Fixer and Cam and all that. And just looking at that Luke, I'm like, you don't want a whole series of that Luke. Where he's like, yeah, all right.
Nobody wants Wormy a Star Wars story. I mean, if you don't want old Luke who's not being Return of the Jedi Luke, why would you want Wormy? I'm just saying it pretty much is the same thing from the opposite side. Oh, they turned Luke Skywalker into a little tiny cuck. It's getting cucked by Fixer constantly.
Dude, she cucks him right there. No, when Cammy shoves the goggles back in his, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna spend time with Biggs.
Yeah, and Biggs is like, you like this mustache, Luke? You like this mustache?
When you get a stash like this, Luke, they let you eat anybody in the rebellion, even Dodonna.
Hey, Bo. Bo says, I'm scared this fight will just be a repeat of the Vader-Ahsoka fight. Also scared Reva's arc will be a repeat of Trilla's from Fallen Order. So I will say, I do not think it's a repeat of the Vader-Ahsoka fight. There's just more history in a different way. And there's also, I do think that there are some elements of the plot that are the same. Like, when you do this, you have like your A story and your B story. And like, you do have similar kind of elements running concurrently. And then Reva might be a little Fallen Order heavy. Might be. It definitely has Trilla elements. But I think it's probably okay. Like you will have a little bit of I've already said this, I think, that like blaming the Jedi for her lot in life today. Like, you don't end up being an Inquisitor if you weren't a Jedi. If the Jedi didn't put you in the situations that they did. And so, they all kind of share the same reasons to be disappointed in the Jedi and to have somewhat of I guess I should say, a very human, understandable dislike for the religion in which they were born in this instance. So there is some carryover there, but also we have to remember, Bo, as Rob was saying, if a lot of the audience didn't watch a cartoon or an animated show, a lot of the audience aren't gamers. And so this is going to be their first way of ever experiencing this kind of story, unless they just went and literally adapted Fallen Order into its own miniseries. And as a Star Wars fan, I'm perfectly fine with having ideas revisited and maybe expanded upon in a better way in live action for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, and at the end of the day as well, we're going to have this story will be something that we watch via Disney Plus or whatever iteration, or on some version of something in 30 years from now. Whereas the video game may fall off and be, get your emulator out if you want to play Fallen Order. Like, who knows, right? I don't know. I'm probably bad at predicting the future of 3D gaming, but you know where I'm going with this. Like, who knows if it will be readily available? It'll be an esoteric artifact that hardcore fans search out in 20 years, as opposed to the opposite of the TV show that will likely still be consumed.
Look, folks, I get what you're saying, but it would be like me saying, hey, man, I'm just really bummed out that they just stole the dual lightsaber from Tales of the Jedi and put it in the Phantom Menace.
People said that.
Really, it's people did say that. No one cares. Like, I get you, but like, let this one go, man. Like, this is not the place. The place to put up a fight is. It really sucks that they put Jabba's palace in a show and there wasn't a fucking thing in it, for 7 episodes.
Or
Boba Fett never fought Mace Windu because we were saving it maybe for 7 years fucking later. Like, like, that's the shit to get up in arms about. Just be happy that this exists, because if this doesn't work, I mean, it's not gonna go. It's
gonna work.
They could.
It's gonna work.
I assume it will, but you know what I mean? I'm just saying, worst case scenario,
Yeah.
You're not going to get more content if things don't work. You're going to just get less content.
People internally at Disney are sharing clips with one another that they're not supposed to, because it's so fucking good. Yeah, and that's how good this is. You know what I mean? Like literally, they just go like, huh.
Yeah.
And then I asked them a question, and they go, "Yeah, dude, I don't okay, yeah, that's what they do, man." So, anyways, man, I think like Back in Black is a better record, and then you go back to the conversation about something. With this one, they're not doing that. With Kenobi, they're not. With Kenobi, they're like, dude, it's a completely different. Yeah. So if it does come out and it sucks, I will be so surprised. And I'm gonna just try to look at the bright side of life here. The good, maybe in the big picture, maybe they will make more Book of Boba Fett one day, or maybe they will continue it. And if they do, all of these really big faux pas will be like rectified, and then it will just seem like character like progression. Like, wow, remember when there was nobody there? Now there's all kinds of fun stuff, and so maybe they'll fix all of that stuff in the next. They're not gonna if they do more. If they do more, there's no way they go, oh, that worked, we're gonna keep doing more of that. Like the Favreau Filoni side of things is pretty. They seem to listen, and I don't even know if that's always a good idea. Honestly, yeah. I mean, they
it's different. Listening is different than reactionary.
Yes.
So reactionary. Yeah. Let me give you a really good example of reactionary. I went and saw. It was I can't remember what movie we saw, but there was this preview for The Dark Knight Rises, right? And it was the Bane scene, and Bane shows up in his plane. And I was like, I can't hear a fucking thing this dude is saying.
Did you say
I'm in an IMAX.
It's a Bane plane? They had a Bane plane?
It's a Bane plane. It's a
Bane plane.
I was at the Irvine Spectrum, that sound system in IMAX. And I'm like, I can't hear what this dude is saying. And I got fantastic hearing, like, look at these fucking things, like Gungan ears.
Yeah.
So like, Ferengis. And everyone complained. And so then they react to that. Opening night of The Dark Knight Rises, same theater. Now Bane is speaking like they did this ADR where he's like over everything in the mix. It's not even, it's like, there, you can't hear him. Now you're going to fucking hear him. Like, it's like, all right. I felt like it was a big fuck you, man. Like, I was like, this is someone throwing a temper. This is Nolan throwing a temper tantrum in the mix. Like, it's not
They have those Tusken Raiders imposed on screen doing sign language for you.
Seriously, so like that's a reactionary move. Maybe with the producer, someone was like, make sure they can always hear him no matter what. And it's like, so the point where you're like, now it's fucking annoying and it's taking me out the film. He doesn't even sound like he's anywhere near there. So like that is versus say, hey, we listened, we went back, we did some testing, we kind of adjusted the mix. I know everyone can hear him now, but it still has that cool feel. And then I feel like had they done that mix properly, people wouldn't have been making fun of the voice as much, but he's so fucking loud in the film. It's unlistenable.
Wasn't that the same as the Sonic design when the first trailer came out and everyone just hated it and then they changed it? It's good to
but that's listening. That's not there would have been reactionary would have been like, no, he's a 2D fucking cartoon, which I would have loved. No, but you know what I mean?
I'm saying they do listen to the fans.
Yeah, the only time I could, besides Jar Jar, that I could think of that George Lucas did something like that was Anakin as Darth Vader in the suit. In the trailer, he's like this. And then they changed it. They CGI'd the hands so that they're down. So when he breaks off, he's like this.
Oh, really?
Because everyone was like, he looks weak. He looks like he looks like yeah, I don't know. I personally don't really get it, but it was a thing and they changed it because of it. I thought that one was kind of weird. But hey, it's the Baymax. How's it going, Mr. Max? The other Max. Jason says, anyone hungover from their St. Patty's fun? If you mean my kid bringing me this, nah, I'm pretty cool, actually. That was my St. Patty's fun. I got this. But, yeah. You guys know.
I ate so much Shamrock Shakes. I was just vomiting Shamrock Shakes last night. It smelled so minty in there, but with a hint of bile.
What's that Shamrock?
What?
What's the Shamrock Shake?
So at McDonald's, they have like a green milkshake.
Oh, like a McFlurry.
It's like a milkshake, but it's minty and it's green. And then and they only have them like, around St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, my daughter had been asking to get one, and I don't really let her have that kind of stuff, that like the kind of garbage.
Yeah.
And
you get jitters from all the sugar. It's fun. Then I try to write my name, and it looks like I'm having a stroke. It's fun.
But I went through last night. We went through the drive-thru. I got her a mini. They do a mini size. I said, "Can I get a mini?" They said, "Yeah."
How about
I got it.
Did he get one too?
Nah, he doesn't like anything.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a little weirdo. He eats everything. But yeah, he likes French fries. That's it though. After that, it's done. But yeah, so that was my rock and roll St. Patrick's
I like
Day.
Shamrock Shake with Lucky Charms. I just go full on, man. I pour it in there.
Go big or go home.
Oh yeah, diabetes. Here we come.
Diabetes. Yeah. Star Wars Santa says, sounds like a bad knockoff of Sten and Rempy. I don't know what that's referring to now, but
Star Wars Santa's having a senior Santa moment.
Yeah. Oh no.
He's horny.
Yeah.
The young boomer says, go Force Unleashed style and trash the suit. That's actually a good question. I hadn't thought about the suit. I hadn't really looked into and asked about that too much. I only had conversations about the mask, and I am kind of curious if we, I know certain things like we will see him like, being put together and stuff like that, like Darth Vader. But based off of what I think I know at the end, I don't think we have a high ground moment part 2. I don't think we have like Darth Vader with no arms and legs going like, ah, shit, come on, somebody bring me my robot legs. Like, I don't think that happens,
Make him spin.
They could get one of those dudes from one of those Alejandro Jodorowsky movies and just to like be in the Vader suit for those scenes. It'd be kind of cool. But it's Mike Porter. How's it going, dude? James says, so this episode is all about spaceships. Yeah, you said that.
I like spaceships.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the setup.
I like big ships, and I cannot lie. Well, you want to look this game then? All right.
Yeah, it's pretty funny because he just had he had this era where he just went around saying spaceships constantly. And I just love it. If anybody gets a spaceship, if you see George Lucas say a spaceship, please send us the clip. I would appreciate it.
Someone had to write a review that got under his skin, because there's a lot of ships landing in the prequels, and I gotta imagine that had to come from that because there's way too many ships landing in the prequels.
Yeah,
way too many.
Well, I mean, even if you want, I think even if you go deeper than that, though, like what he did with the prequels, which is he basically talked, whether he knows it or not, about the effects of like neoliberalism economics on democracy and where that leads politically and how it ends up corrupting
all those dirty
everything.
liberals ruining the galaxy.
No, neoliberal means anything
I
goes economics. It's trickle down economics essentially. But he's like doing this whole like critique on that, and everyone's like Jar Jar Binks. And he's got to be like, it's not about spaceships, God damn it! It's not about spaceships. At the end of the day, that's probably where he was going, but I don't know. Sarah says that Baymax, we need a graphic of Ward and Sketchy based off of Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, I can see that. It makes sense. Svenmelter, I think it's German. Svenmelter. Ooh. Are you guys aware of the Clone Wars planet from the comics that will make an appearance in the show? Jabim? Yeah. I whenever I get a planet name, I always Wikipedia it, But the thing I try not to do is in my articles act like I give a shit about that. Whether I do, if I do, I will. But if I don't, if it was like I don't try to be like I'm the most esoteric, knowledgeable Star Wars fan of all time, like that kind of thing, I try not to like do that too much because whenever I hear like YouTube videos doing it, my eyes kind of glaze over. I start thinking about like Shamrock Shakes, and McFlurries, and stuff. instead of Star Wars. So, but yeah. I'm in the bath at Santa. A Baymax bath.
Dude, some asshole texted that to my buddy's wife once. They met at a con, and he started texting my buddy, like, I'm in the bath right now. He's like, well, time to go murder this guy. You know?
Yeah.
Fucking weirdo. But good for you, Baymax. Is it a bubble bath? You know,
I think so.
Are you like Francis and Pee-wee, where you got the big pool bath and you're like got the ships? I always wanted that pool bath. It was the best.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I don't think I've taken a bath in a very long time. I'm a very filthy animal. Just showers. I'm a shower man. I'm a shower man.
Oh yeah, I'm a shower guy.
Yeah, shower.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, Jason, we gotta do some UFO shows here if Rob's free. That'd be great.
We got to do it because Chris Lito has a new video up that's fucking awesome.
Does he?
Good video.
Okay.
Good video. Gotta do it. Gotta do it this weekend.
This weekend? All right.
This weekend. I'll do it tomorrow.
All right. Tomorrow we'll do a UFO show. Mike, Mrs. Marvel is my jam porter. Jason, what do you call when Sabine goes, a rebel gal? You did it again. He did it again. Level. Yeah, it's not to do something because they already did an animation. And then my old buddy Baymax put up the link to the article. I will try to remember to put it in the description of this video. Oh yeah, and I've been putting if anybody wants to become a channel member who hasn't yet, I've been putting a link in the description. So if you are on mobile and you have a hard time, you should be able just to click that and get to it. I hope. It supposedly works. I can't really become my own channel member, so I'm not sure. Kendall, aka the Sensei, what's good? How's it going? Hey man, if you ever want to come and hang out on the show, Kendall, by all means, send me a DM and I'll send you the invite. It was nice talking to you the other day. The Young Boomer says, I do wonder if Obi-Wan will try to reason with Anakin too. Return of the Jedi has that moment where Vader replies to Luke when he appeals to him, Obi-Wan once thought as you do. Yeah, I find like a lot of that stuff to be pretty fascinating because that's one of those lines where you're like, it kind of worked in Revenge of the Sith, like when he's like, you know, you were supposed to bring balance, you know, and all that stuff. You know, you're supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them, and all that kind of. It kind of like the overall sentiment is stop, come on, you know. So it kind of worked, but it also wasn't bold enough on that front to really be what Luke was doing, because there was kind of like a lot of like trash talking, like you just killed some kids kind of stuff going on in there too. And so in this one, like I said, like I know that like Padme comes up. I don't hear it. I have not heard that Natalie Portman is back. I haven't heard that she's in any kind of like, you know, part of the series or show in a way that matters. It's all been she's brought up in their conversation, and basically that conversation is going to be this. This is where we will literally get that. And I think it makes sense. I think it's going to play well. Especially, I think if you love Revenge of the Sith, this movie is going to be like a great like addendum to it. And I think if you didn't like it, this is like a good substitute at the same time. It's sort of smart, like how it magically fits and rests in this really weird way. You know, I think that could, I hope, make it a really successful series on that front.
If anything else, with the referencing things that may have or may not have been in a cartoon, if people say it enough, it might get people who've never seen the cartoon to go watch the cartoon. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Oh, let me go see what they're talking about. And then they'll watch all and then see that and then go, oh, that worked too. Like, you know, like that actually leads more people to discover content rather than feel like they got the same thing twice. Just letting you know.
And I mean, like you know, I since that comment at the start of the show, I keep going back in my head, back and forth on you know, as somebody who loves it all. I do love it all. I like it all to some extent. I'm critical of certain things, and certain things don't work as well for me. But at the end of the day, I'll take some bad Star Wars Rebels over pretty much anything. You know what I mean? Like that's, and I'm not saying Rebels is bad. I'm saying bad Rebels, and as in there's a spectrum of good Rebels and there's some bad Rebels. They made a lot. It's just true. Excuse me. But when you put all that together, I'm like, do I care anymore? You know what? I think I like the moment for Ahsoka, and I think I like the moment for Obi-Wan. I think in the big spectrum of things, depending on which angle you're coming at it from, I think both deserve that moment of the face reveal to some extent for the emotional like resonance of the character of like, I know you're in there, and I think it ultimately works in that our heroes know he's in there. Like Rob was saying, I think that's pretty much the point that Rob was making. Like Obi-Wan knows he's in there when he sees the face, when it's broken open. And but I think it means different things to Obi-Wan than it does to Ahsoka. Like Ahsoka wasn't there on Mustafar. She doesn't really know what happens to Anakin up to a certain point.
She doesn't know what he smells like when he's burning.
Yeah, she doesn't know what that Canadian bacon. He smells like Canadian bacon.
As an artist, it's my job to paint a picture in your head. All right? Yeah.
And I can't stop my Canadian jokes today. So Canadian bacon. But it's gonna go. It's gonna go where you're gonna see that face reveal from one perspective, and you're gonna see it from another perspective. So I think it's gonna play well. We'll see though. At least the aliens made Rob think he saw kids in masks. The reality of events would have broken him.
It's very sore down there ever since. I don't know why. It's very sore. Never sit right.
So I think tomorrow night, me, Rob, and Jason will be doing a UFO show. If anybody wants to come hang out, Spreezy, you're always welcome to, obviously. And I think we're gonna do it. Oh wait. My buddy Santa. Also make sure you subscribe to Santa's show. It's a great show. I do a show every Monday. We hang out. Meg's on his show one day a week. It's a great. Magic Maker does his show one day. So it's always good. You get your Santa, and you also get your guest appearances every couple of days. It's great. Star Wars Santa says maybe not cut Maul in half in Phantom Menace and then decide to use him in animation. Yeah, that would have been one way of doing things. I mean, it's like, but I do have a lot of I watched the beginning last night. I watched that whole documentary. I missed the tech guy. Is tech guy in the beginning? I can't remember now because I didn't see it. I was trying to get the tech guy. I wanted to get on the tech guy. I couldn't find it last night. But I watched the whole thing last night, and you're just like, it's like really, and I don't think Santa's saying this, but it's really easy for us to like armchair a whole franchise in hindsight, knowing all of what they did and how they could have done it better if they knew everything that they were doing. George Lucas was just trying to fucking figure out if they could make Sebulba go on screen for a time. Just trying to get the extras and the costumes and stuff like at that point. So it's like kind of amazing he got it done at all. But
this is why I feel they should have limited the CGI to the Nemodians, and like maybe a CGI 3PO or a Yoda. Like just too much.
One of the things that could make this thing the most special thing in the world is that it is a pure CG character.
Yeah. Sorry, you asked for it.
And then they did it again and again and again and again and again. It's like just limit it and up the quality. Damn it.
Yeah.
Look, the fact is, when you've done that much coke, you're always seeing.
Oh. No, but remember, like
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Now, even in that documentary, you have they're like, hey, we could complete Jar Jar and do him in a suit and then have him be half CGI. Then they're like, you know what? We could do it this way. And then by the end of it, they're like, you know what? Actually, we looked at it and it's just easier just to replace him entirely. Like they just didn't know yet. Like they just didn't have it like figured out. So it's like, in hindsight, yeah, completely. I'm with you.
Well, they found that out to some extent on Terminator 2 when they thought the idea was when they were doing wire work and stuff. To just paint it super bright green or something that would stand out so it'd be easy to roto out. And then like, no, actually use the most transparent materials you can. And this way, you only have to paint out what shows. It's because a lot of it kind of blends in. Like just wasn't the theory at the time. So these things do constantly change.
Yeah. But I do think during the scripting phase, it was a very very peculiar idea to kill Maul in that first duel and not have him continue on. The idea I liked where Lucas was going with it ultimately, where you like all of these various guys are components of Darth Vader. Maul is one component of Darth Vader. The fallen Jedi turned to Sith Lord Count Dooku is another component. General Grievous, who's not a Sith Lord but is a cyborg, it's who's lost all of his humanity, like all of that stuff, like all of these elements make up Darth Vader. And I like the idea behind it, but I do think that it would probably have been a better idea in hindsight to have had Maul bring in Dooku and then have us see the Sith supplanting themselves with the rule of two in it, and them just doing their best to even keep up, But hey,
especially since you need a physical villain for at least another film or two until he turns, like
yeah.
Jason, do you think that Lucasfilm knew at the time how much of a pop icon Maul became? Do you think they knew writing the script that he was going to be a popular character, like an icon?
I think so. I think so, because they worked really hard on him. They put him on the cover of like Star Wars Insider. They also put him on fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know what I mean? Like so they were definitely invested in making that happen. Yeah. I just don't think that they understood how attached people would be, and then disappointed by the fact that it was just that was it. And like Lucas,
and he didn't learn anything from the Batman films, where you kill your villain in the first film, and then you gotta constantly show the origins of new villains and explain who these villains are again and again every film, and it's just taking up time away from shit you'd actually could be doing with the characters. And also, they had that sketch for Maul from '95. So you're talking like that's 2 years of you're looking and developing. That when you show that image to folks, their reaction is very visceral, and it's see the horns and the devil look like it's
a great
great look. Yeah, there's nothing's topped it since, really.
I've wondered if Benicio del Toro turning the roll down late game and walking away from it changed like Maul for in any way. I'm curious. I've never actually been able to get like a good answer to that question, because they were gonna actually like put a very capable actor in the part, not knocking Ray Park, but he was going to be the voice, he was going to be like the character. And I wonder if Benicio had stayed, if we might have had Maul survive, and if it might have.
He was meant to be Maul? This is the first time I'm hearing this.
Benicio del Toro got the role of Maul, and then late game turned it down. And then Ray Park, who was just supposed to be the stunt man, ended up actually getting the role and becoming Darth Maul. Like,
that's crazy. I
yeah.
didn't know that. Fuck.
Yeah. So it's like that may have something to do with it, but I also believe that he was always cut in half there, and or was meant to like die. There was one time that one cut got out. I think it was somewhere in Orange County, and we went and saw it, and it was Maul didn't get cut in half in one print of the Phantom Menace, because they had done an alternate version in case they didn't get the rating that they wanted, because they were so up against the clock, and the final edit was so close to the release that it needed to be rated, that one, for whatever reason, got out and was printed with the wrong Maul. So we went and saw it. It's pretty crazy.
Cool.
Yeah. I wonder if that will ever come out, if they'll ever like put that on a thing. And I also wonder if maybe if they did it like at the time as like a TV version, in case it was too much for TV. You know what I mean? You know how TV can be with like, they were a little bit in the 90s, they were a little bit harder on certain things until they started showing butts on top shows. Eric says, Rob is right. Of the friends I talk Star Wars with, only one has seen Rebels, and the others just won't watch anything Star Wars animation. Oh yeah, I completely, I totally agree with that. I just, and I totally agree with the fact that live action is cognizant of this. But I'm looking at it more from a fan's perspective, and the fact that the majority of the people who would watch a YouTube Star Wars show probably would watch Rebels, probably. But so does it diminish? Is sort to me that the question is sort of like irrelevant to the reality of the market, if you will. But hey, it's KG. How's it going? Jason says, I heard to make the scene lighter, Kathleen Kennedy had Vader's respirator hose make a fart sound every time Anakin talked. This broke
when people in the comments. When people in the comments complain that I'm ruining this show, which I say it's fine. You can think that. I agree on some days. Understand that people who watch the show can have even better content than I could conjure up at times. Like, that's great. Like,
do you know what channel you would see that on? Do you know?
Oral Knots.
I just saw what was on CBS.
Sorry. I'm looking for an excuse right now.
That's why I sold to ABC. Fuck CBS. Always washing my ass.
Hey, X-Wing! Everybody, check out X-Wing show. It's pretty fun. I think if you are okay with our antics, you'll like X-Wing show. It's very, very good. I had a really fun time on a show too when I was on. I hope to do it again, but it's definitely a fun watch. Star Wars Enda says, any concern that Reva will outshine Vader and or our Grand Inquisitor in the show? So I will say, I don't think the Grand Inquisitor is supposed to like shine. Is kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I think fan familiarity with the character is making him like be like the big deal. But I think if you had never seen Star Wars Rebels, if you'd never known what an Inquisitor was, and you just sat down, you would clearly see he's just this deflated ball sack who's kind of in the way of Reva's ascension, and that you know what I mean, and then the fifth brother, in my opinion, from what I've heard, is her competitor. Okay. So you clearly get that she is our main, like she's our main antagonist for the show until Darth Vader.
Yeah,
but also she will answer to Vader. So take that as you will. Like, what does that say about the Grand Inquisitor? And the Grand Inquisitor, we know, and the fifth brother survive. We know they live because they're in Star Wars Rebels. Ooh, that would be annoying if I start calling it that. Star Wars Rebels. Star Wars Rebels. That's a good troll. I'm gonna lean into that. Star Wars Rebels. On like the next episode, I'll just start saying it constantly, and people will be like, it's Star Wars Rebels, right? And I'll be like, yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. Star Wars Rebels. Baymax, we never got Fallen Order in live action, so I don't care if it's similar. Yeah, I mean, I think the characters are going to have the same gripes. They're going to have the same kind of issues, but from different perspectives. Like with with that story, you have a master who literally like just fucking got beat down, if I remember right, was interrogated, and then gave up during the interrogation process, was broken, and then gets away, and then you have the Padawan who's left there, and I think this goes a little bit different and for Reva, as we've talked about that opening, and that's assuming that the opening of Obi-Wan Kenobi is the same two Jedi. Is it Reva and Nari in the beginning? Because we don't actually know 100%. And yeah, but thanks to Bespin Scoop yesterday, we know that definitely it's not the Nari is a different actor. It's not O'Shea Jackson, because I think when there was the rumor that it was O'Shea and Reva's characters, then brother and sister started going around, and that's why it seemed like that could be the case, but it doesn't appear that's what this is going to be. So X-Wing says, I think Reva is 1000% going to be Trilla. Yeah. X-Wing, back in the day, I got all of the, I had everything from The Force Awakens, and there was a commander whose name was Trilla. and it was like the shots were cut or whatever. But Trilla was like a Force Awakens character. On my old podcast, we used to be like, "I'm Trilla, yo," because it sounds like a fucking like rap name or something. And but then it ended up like coming out years later in that other show. It's kind of a weird thing with a Trilla, weird lineage. But yeah, but I'm down for it too. I mean, we're gonna see the plight of the Inquisitor. Like, it's not that if they deserve like to be like, not that they should have our sympathy. They're fucking killers in the end. You know what I mean? But you definitely will understand why they become what they become, and how it happened. So I get it though. Robert St. Clair says, "Oh, bitch, Abe Simpson, just feel this will be perfect for Kenobi." Yeah, that sounds right. KG says the BD droid in Book of Boba Fett from Fallen Order. Wait, the BD droid? I don't know. Baymax says, I lost it. Has Rodriguez done any press since the Book of Boba Fett was released? Not that I know of. I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything or heard anything like that. So,
let's get the hat down.
Hey, how's it going, Yusan Tavi? Do you think Han Solo will appear? Definitely not. No Han Solo. Really, no real big cameos. I mean, like the show already has such big players. The idea of putting cameos in that would like please the general audience and just to do it, it's not needed. Like when you have Darth Vader and you have Obi-Wan Kenobi at that point, like, there's just no need for it. So unfortunately, we won't be seeing Han Solo anytime soon that I know of. But I would love if they did a Han Solo series. And I'm kind of hoping that we do move more towards that kind of direction with like maybe Lando. Maybe when that Lando series comes, maybe that will be our opportunity to have young Han back in the show. And then one other thing that I keep thinking about too is, they approached Billy D. Williams about doing that Lando show. And he was talking about how, they're going to do something together, like they had something planned and stuff like around the time of episode 9. But look at where we're at now. I keep wondering if they're going to have Billy D play young Lando with what they've done with Luke. And if Billy D's totally open, he's a participant and stuff like that.
I hope not. They still look. You can de-age, but I don't know. They still have to have a young actor. He can't move. He's got limited mobility.
I still think the best way to do that show is just to have Billy D just narrating, and then go back in my day when I went on this mission, and then you have the young actor playing him.
Yeah, it's true. Guys, I just got
the old Solo boys. He ripped me off. It's fucking the boy and his dog stole my shit. Damn it.
I have a package on my doorstep. I'm gonna go grab it real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, cool. The Rob and Spreezy show.
Yeah. This is like when they don't get Bespin or Jason, right? Now you got nothing.
Yeah, just us, two bums.
Just us. Yeah, you know everything about new Star Wars. I know about this bullshit.
Do we have the ability to go to the chats, or is that only Jason? I can't get the.
I can look at it, but it's on my other screen. I can look at some of the chats. Oh yeah, I can bring some of this up. But the problem is Jason will just keep going. I've done this before. I brought the chats up and then he just goes back. There's no point in it. So.
All right. Well, we'll just look at each other.
Solo series though would be cool, but like, it would be nice if they somehow found a way to like make up with Lord Miller. You know what I mean? I'd like to see that wrong righted.
That's the movie. Deserved really, but like Jason says many times, I think the Solo would have been better as a Disney Plus series. What do you think?
Someone else would Solo be better as a Disney Plus series? Well, I mean,
compared to a movie.
Yeah, I get to the thing with the movie isn't what I think the content should be on the big screen or not. It's what justifies us bearing the weight of a $300 million ad campaign for 6 months. You know, like what do you want to see labeled everywhere, shoved in your face over and over again? And I'm going to tell you, more Solo ain't it. So it better go to Disney Plus. Like,
Yeah,
you
true.
know?
But if I remember correctly, Solo didn't have a big marketing push. I mean, they started that pretty late. I think the first trailer came out like 2-3 months.
But you remember the Dannies. Because anytime you associate movies with food, you're gonna remember. Like, it's genius. That's the one thing I was like, they did that right, because I still remember it, and it's so fucking crazy. Like, you just get if Mandalorian. Have I been able to go into fucking whatever a Sonics and get the fucking Mandalorian little Razor Crest pack special, with a Grogu cup, like you never forget it.
No, I actually never forget the first time StarWars.com dropped the first Mando photo. Remember that photo of him just walking the street? Like, I think it was like October 28th, 2018 or some shit. That's one thing that I knew for me. And
Sports guys must be good with dates because they have to remember where they're playing, right? Like, it's got to be.
I just remember that,
you don't,
that one image.
You can't be like, I guess I'm playing on a Tuesday. What day? Oh. You gotta know.
I asked my kids, I'm like, hey, how old are you now? All right.
Do you not remember that image, Jason?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that. Yeah, I'm
not the only course.
Yeah.
I mean, my ego internally thought maybe they're releasing this before I can. That's what I thought, because I was seeing him down there, at the time.
Yeah.
And so I thought maybe that's what that was,
Didn't you have that scoop about the Mandalorian show like months before that photo came out?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I had it. I was actually at the Clone Wars panel at Comic-Con when they were supposed to be, not treating me like a third rate fan. And I was supposed to not be leaking. And I'm at Comic-Con waiting in line for 6 hours to get into the panel. Get in there, when it was big film bloggers, all what are you hearing? I'm talking about Mandalorian. It's like, dude, you should release that. And I'm like, well, I told him I wouldn't do that stuff anymore. And then he's like, oh yeah. He's like, well, yeah, well, we're supposed to be playing ball. And he's also, but you're waiting in line. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, apparently they're not playing ball with you anymore. And I'm like, so I go wait in line. I get inside. I sit down. I see like 4 or 5 seats like up in the front for people who they invited who didn't even show up because they don't give a shit,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, these people suck. And then so I get the story out, and then I'm like, yeah, as I get home, I'm like, it's about the restoration of Mandalore.
As soon as you get home, you open the door, you shut the door.
I was just like, well, actually it was that, and they had the Millennium Falcon there.
Okay.
They had the Millennium Falcon, and you could go sit inside of it. And they told me like, hey, come see us at Comic-Con. I was like, yeah, cool. And then I get to Comic-Con. I'm like, and then there's like this like line that started like 8 hours before I could even get into San Diego. Like it takes a long time to get into San Diego.
How sorry to cut you off, but how far are you from San Diego?
About 2 hours with traffic.
Because I don't know. Sorry, just one more second.
On a good day.
I remember like in 2017, I was visiting my cousin in San Diego, and I won this massive ass fucking pool. It was like 5 foot tall. I was like, Jason, do you want it? And like, I'm in San Diego. Come and pick it up.
I actually had one.
Oh, you did? Okay,
I actually had one. Yeah. But mine didn't talk. It broke. But anyways, So then the guy at Lucasfilm is like, oh, sorry, I can't do that. Yeah, I can't let any lines. I can't do that. And I'm just like, all right, that's cool, man. But then I'm like waiting for my friend to come. So I'm just like sitting there, and like my friend's running late. I'm like, come on, man. Like, where you at? And then like I just like see him like getting like fucking like the Twitter butt lickers in. I was like, oh, fuck these people. Fuck this whole thing. I'm all, I don't even want in their club. I'm just going to make my own club again. That's the story of my life. Fuck that club. I'm going to make my own club. Yeah. It's a better way to be, though. You're not beholden to anybody. I like it. I'm a free man. I'm an outlaw.
He's a free Dobby.
Eric Denton says, why would Jabba's palace be full even during Bib's rule? Most of their friends got blowed up. I think 5 years is enough time to make some new friends and populate it and make that party get going again. I mean, look at me. I'm just saying. Come on, Bib. No, he will not be appearing, God willing, says Jason. Hey, I mean, I don't really want Han Solo in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. That doesn't really add up to me. But I would love to have more Han Solo content. Han Solo, like, there's even like cutscenes that I don't think were good for the movie. But like when he and Chewie are just like walking behind Beckett, and then they start like pushing each other, and then like he fucking pushes him down. Then they start fucking throwing snowballs at each other and just like being like fucking stupid guys. Like Harrison it's good. It's good. There's good moments there.
I was telling Spreezy, I wish they'd just make up with Lord Miller, give him a full series. You know what I mean? Yeah. Say, hey, look, just fucking do the buddy thing you wanted to do. Let him be stupid or whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Like, let's just get it out and let's show people what you would have done without, whatever you want to do. We're sorry. We'll give you the big push. Yeah. And if it takes off, then we'll talk about a theatrical release, for another project following it up with those characters. We could follow it up with the movie if it goes well. Like, I just want to see them make up. It's one of the creative team of the cats with this company and this property. It needs to happen. Like, it's so shameful. It just bums me out. Yeah.
If what I heard is correct, that it had to do with like actual issues of coverage and just literally refusing to, so that way the movie couldn't be changed. I don't see them. I don't see it happening. Not under the current administration. But I'm with you. I think I like Solo: A Star Wars Story a lot. I think it's a very like it does what they wanted it to do. It's like, but I think they would probably have given us something special, something extra special, I should say. And Anthony became a channel member. I can't pull it up at the moment until I get down to the bottom. But thank you, Star Wars Anthony, for becoming a channel member, dude. I appreciate that. I know right now really sucks for the world. And so anybody who's, willing to buy me a gallon of gas every month, it means a lot. Junkbox says,
hey, I'm willing to buy him a box of tacos from Taco Bell. It's not quite the same effect. Well, it's gas, but it's...
Yeah. No, not for me. I'm Taco Bell immune, man. I've been living in Southern California my whole life. That shit ain't nothing.
Like that guy gives him a little bit of poison, so he makes himself immune.
Yeah, it's a little bit of arsenic every day. You can't kill me. It won't happen. So,
all right, you got me on that one.
Hey Brent, how's it going? Brent says, checking in. Force.net doesn't allow people to source you. Too bad for them. You're a very reliable source. Yeah, they would rather just go by with what they're hearing on the internet rather than I posted evidence about all of this stuff, and they.
If you go into their forums, it works. I know because I was looking for this about a year ago. Go into their forums and type in "My Story is 6'4". You will find me in 99 2000 posting artwork. You know what I mean? Like, I've been on the Force.net since 1996 or 7. Like, whenever they first put that image up in the background with the Coruscant and the heads and shit, they did all that fucking thing. When they Imagine Games Network, all that bullshit. The fact that they would ban anyone with the amount of stupid. You should see what those forums are like during the Iraq War. The invasion of Iraq, all the racist shit that was being spewed in those forums. The fact that they would ban a content creator, when I guarantee you a lot of that shit's buried somewhere in there, is just so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I mean, all I could say to the Force.net people is I hope no one ever says anything about you. And then I hope you don't get to clear your name and then still get treated as if you did it because you're too big of a coward to confront the truth and look at the reality of the situation. I hope that never happens to you, Force.net, bitch. But thanks, Brett.
We need hey, can you do all that Spreezy in the Macho Man voice?
Actually, you know what? Like the last time I did that, some guy commented saying he really enjoyed it. So I am going to do it today. I will do it. Yeah.
So good. Cut a promo, man. That's what I'm saying.
What do you want me to say, Rob?
What he just said.
The whole thing?
But the Force.net. Yeah.
Yeah, TFN. You had your chance. You had your dig in the sun, TFN. But it's 2022 and you're over.
You're looking. I'm looking for you. Where are you? Force.net.
Everybody left IGN in 2002 and left you behind, brother.
Fuck it, I'll do it.
Oh! We're doing this.
Yeah, fuck you, the Force.net, you fucking piece of shit.
Man, we got some Monday Night Raw Savage going on there, man.
Right?
That's like
How was that, man?
uncut Savage, dude. That's
Uncut Savage. Savage Opress. That's your new name. Savage.
Yeah.
Macho Man Randy Savage Opress. Oh, wait. Okay. Nuntoot says, are you guys worried for the Ahsoka show since they're continuing story from animation and live action? The casuals can get really confused. They didn't explain Bane's significant in Book of Boba Fett. I know. What I think that they will do is that they're just going to show elements that mattered to that story, like maybe even recreating like some of those shots in live action where we're like, oh, I see, you know, they may do that. And I think that if they'll just sort of like, they'll like talk about it, they'll just be like, yeah, this friend and he was with Grand Admiral Thrawn, you know what I mean? And then they jumped to hyperspace and we never saw them again. Like it'll be something like that. And you're like, whoa, it's a mystery. You know what I mean? But like an implied backstory that actually does exist that you can go look up. And then, but they will, you know, I think also reconfigure the characters to some extent. Like things will have changed, some time will have gone by. Rebels was, you know, 6 years before the events here. So they have, so if there's any differences that like are noticeably different, they can be justified by the passage of time. And then, you know, and then we have Ahsoka just tying it all together. So my hope is that we do see a couple of those moments from Star Wars Rebels, that we do have a flashback where we do maybe even see something we've already seen before, but in live action. And then that way it would sort of work to legitimize the animation a little bit more as being like, yeah, this does matter. Because like, I don't blame anybody. Like I think that Rob is ultimately right in the big picture. Will they just, is there a tier system to these things? There is a tier system to these things in reality. But are they trying to make it not really go that way? The answer is yeah. They're trying to not make it go that way. But I also think when you have somebody like Dave Filoni, who worked in the animation side of things for like 15 years, he's not going to go
delete me.
Yeah, he's not going to go
cancel.
He's not going to go in and delete himself.
I'm going to go Star Trek. You do that. I'm going to go Star Trek. I'm going to go there.
He's going to go there. He's going to make. He's going to make Picard into a.
I'm going to make Bilex. They're the botanicals, but they go both ways.
Oh shit! Do it, Filoni.
It's not the same thing. It's not a derivative. It's totally unique.
Yeah.
I talking, Rob. Sorry.
Cut. Let's try it again.
All right.
You just need the cut. Let's try it again. I'm telling you.
I know,
you
but
don't need the Anakin part.
I like Coruscant.
Yeah, I remember when you were like, "Oh, I think we could get something out of him in the editing room." Yeah, you can, or you can just get a kid who can act. I don't fucking know. Like, you know. Sorry, I like you, Jake. I like you, but you know,
I love Jake. I wouldn't change him. Brett says we need Christophsis in live action in episode 1. Thrawn Strikes. That set would, or that city, that like crystal emerald city would look fucking good in the volume. I really do think so. I am with Brett in terms of like translating something. I think it would probably translate really, really well, especially like with those colors. Because like whenever you have something that like doesn't, I think something that doesn't exist or has never existed in the volume plays so much better than the opposite, you know. But oh yeah, I just want to drop this here because I'll remember this episode and I'll talk about it down the road. But I keep seeing people like pushing that Darth Maul story and like latching onto it and doubling down. And you want to know the comedy? Just remember this, guys. The comedy of it is the Darth Maul story. One of the main points it makes is literally reversed. And we'll go back to that one day. And then I'll pull this clip. That's what I'm talking about in this clip right now is how backwards they got it, where it worked the other way, where something from Kenobi informed something from something we have already seen, as opposed to the other way. That's how backwards these people are. They're lying.
I'm confused just as you said that.
But you won't
be.
But you won't be. But you won't be. I promise. You won't be.
I'm easily confused, Jason.
Yeah, no, it's meant to be a little confusing, but I promise you will see. You will see how and remember who's a charlatan right now is what I'm saying. That's the thing is a lot of people just don't care. A lot of people just want to be told what they want to hear.
Yeah.
I would love for Darth Maul to see Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love that. I thought that was almost like they have to do that. And then when they did it in Rebels, I thought, oh, now they won't do a Kenobi series.
But see, here's my hold on. This is where Star Wars needs to do a what if show, because then they can do this shit. They can bring the actors in for one episode, give you the fight you never could do in canon, but we could just see. And just do their own high budget version of Bat in the Sun, but with Star Wars. Like, just do it.
Well, Star Wars fans are really dumb in about canon. That's the fucking problem. I don't know if they could
wean them off it by giving them a what if show where you can just be like, here, but make it live action what if, don't do it like the animated.
Yeah. But they
I like animation, but it won't be the same if it's animation. Sorry.
James Washington, channel member, friend, ally, confidant, says, I think Natalie Portman is making Thor 4 over the past few years. Yeah.
We're filming that in a trailer.
But James, we have that thing, that thing where she could show up for one day of Kenobi if they had needed her. You know what I mean? The parameters of the role for something like Kenobi would be a day. Just like to go back to Khaleesi, what's her name? And if they had done that story arc, that was never
imagine this.
Yeah.
She could come back for one day, right? She can do one day. So they do like an episode like what if Padme had killed Anakin, right? And she kills him, and she's not the main character, but she does it, right? And then we see like the whole galaxy. That just means that Palpatine still took over somehow, right? He still takes over, but then Luke and Leia ain't born. You know what I mean? Or they die because he died or something. Like they didn't make it, and they weren't able to stop him because they couldn't appeal to Vader to kill an Emperor. The Emperor was able to turn Luke and Leia. That one of those things. It just show you could get these actors in for one-offs, and not have to. You could have the ultimate fan service while also telling meaningful stories that don't bog them down in canon or tie them up in like trying to figure out how to do a 13 episode arc. I think Boba Fett would work great with that sort of shit. Like that's where you just. It is the. One day she's gonna. I can't make the joke. He's too young for her. He's just too young for her, guys.
He's too young.
I can't. That joke will be out there forever.
Hey, why do I get canceled and Padme's just fucking allowed to do that? Tell me that.
You think about that.
Oh man, this man is smitten. Baymax says, what about Resistance, Jason? Could you get through 2 seasons of it? The truth is that I liked elements of Resistance, and I watched it all. Me and my kids watched it all, but we watched it like in big chunks instead of like weekly. It just didn't really have it weekly for me, and watched it all. It was fine, is all I could say. I liked like Moynihan's character. Like there were good like aspects to it. There were contributions it made, but overall, like the big story just for me didn't actually like become something that I cared about. And when I had heard about the early iterations of it and they were moving towards the speed racer model, I was all about it. I thought they were going to give a Star Wars speed racer, and I was like, yeah, that's fucking great. And then we were going to have like the Star Wars speed racer people become the Resistance. And I was like, cool, that sounds fun. And what we got, it was just too, that one leaned too hard onto the animation tropes for the main character, to what I call the Disney XD syndrome. Like I love Ezra Bridger as a character and as a story. I do not like the execution of Ezra Bridger as a Disney XD character, where he's like, whoa, there's a lot of that Link, excuse me, princess, kind of like bullshit, And like, I'm a teenager, I'm getting pubes. I'm falling down now, like and shit like that. And you're just like, come on, man, like that's just not Star Wars. And so when those shows did that, it just kind of bummed me out, and that's why I was really happy with Bad Batch. Thankfully, well, hopefully Omega's not hitting puberty this year and starts falling over shit or something. But but like Omega, like you're just like, oh, that's just like a nice kid, you know what I mean? She's just like a very innocent person, but you know, and has a little bit of that I believe in everybody kind of stuff. But at least she's not going, whoa, you know, an attractive person, whoa, and all that kind of shit. It's just so dumb. And I'm sitting with like a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old watching this shit, and I'm just like looking at them, and I'm like, they're not laughing. Like I don't like this. They're not laughing. So it's like, who the fuck is this for? This is people who don't. This is for people.
That was the first 10 minutes of Agents of Shield. I just looked at my wife, and I was like, "You mind if I just turn this off?" And she's like, "Yeah,
yeah."
Just never watch this again. Got 10 minutes. It's like, I know this ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, no, but that's how, I mean, I feel like it's like people who don't have kids making show for kids, thinking that they know what kids want when they just don't. Or I don't know, Disney just like,
I don't have kids. I make stuff kids like, dude. You have to.
Yeah.
The problem is,
did you make Rebels? Did you make Rebels?
Huh?
And you know, you didn't make the whoa. I'm saying, but I mean, that's where I think it comes from. It
comes from the company. And I'm not saying it specifically about Disney, but I could say I've worked for large corporations where they tell you, well, we have a way of doing things. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, show me the style guide, the design Bible, the guidelines. And they're like, well, we just have a way of doing things. I'm like, what is that? I don't know. We just got it. Study. You know, and it's like, all right. Sometimes though, when I hear it from fans, when they say, well, you can't do that because of this. I'm like, that's what they're doing. You got to understand, fans, when you say you can't do this because they're saying the same thing on their side. Well, you can't do that because Disney doesn't do, or Disney XD does, or we haven't done this before. You got to be very careful you don't play into that. You know, like, is this right for this project?
Yeah.
You know, is this not? I don't want an Invader Zim like manic behavior in a Luke Skywalker Uncle Owen thing, but in a Tales of the Jabba's Palace thing, then yeah, I want that kind of manic crazy shit going on, you know. And that's when you plug as artists. There's two kinds of artists basically in commercial art. There's an artist who comes in there and continues whatever's going on and just changes their art style to fit the book. You see this in comics. They come in, they just whatever. If it was drawn by McFarlane, they're drawing like McFarlane now. Then there's the artist who comes onto a book and brings their style to a book, you know, and changes the look of it. And sometimes you need one and the other. But if you're like, everywhere I go, I'm plugging in, like if Jim Lee draws Scooby-Doo, you've seen the Jim Lee Scooby-Doo. I don't know if that's the best fit.
Kind of like how Ford Fairlane changed the face of cinema.
Had a fantastic poster. The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. It was in every Batman comic at the time. I'm like, this is good. And I saw the movie. I'm like, what the fuck is this movie? It was like grown up Pee Wee Herman. You know what I mean?
Want to plant something else in this episode? Let's plant something else in this episode just to be dumb. What is the song Weird Al's Yoda is based on?
American Pie.
No, not that one. Yoda.
What?
Yoda.
Oh, Yoda. I don't know.
Come on. All right. Canadian jokes. Todd. Joke box. What did Anakin do when he caught on fire? Is that a joke? Is there like a punch?
He never finished it.
Oh,
he never. I've been waiting for this whole time.
Anakin.
Oh, that was the joke line.
Yeah.
I missed that one. Oh, yeah. All right.
UFO show. I think we'll probably do it at 8:00 tomorrow, if that works for the guys. 8:00 Pacific Standard Time. I'm not sure. We might do it earlier. I don't know. Depends on what they want to do.
9 my time.
Okay. Okay. So what are you thinking then? What time is a good time for you? Well, we'll coordinate it with Jason. We'll see what I want. I don't want you to stay up too late. I want you to get Mr. Beauty
You
sleep.
two are better off doing the show than me. So if you can both make it, I can't, then I'll come on later.
Okay. Well, I'll see what works for Jason, and then
right.
we'll just do it as early as works for both of you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do whatever. I'll reach out on Twitter. That'd be cool. Do it. Panicking. Pretty good. I like it. Dummy brother, or sorry, Dummy says.
Every time you say that,
it's always funny to me.
I'm like, harsh.
Dummy says, I don't love Obi-Wan beating Vader. Why go back into exile again to train Luke to do something that he can already do? I prefer they have a draw. Yeah, it's not as clear cut. It's not as clear cut, Dummy. Hey, Dummy, it's not that easy, Dummy. All right, Dummy. It definitely has an angle to it, Dummy. And don't worry, Dummy. It'll make sense, Dummy. So, Dummy. All right. The young boomer says Reva is totally dying. Reva is totally dying to Vader. Maybe she gets close to besting Obi-Wan, and Vader's like, "Fuck, no, he's mine." Fart noises. We'll see, man. We'll see. We will see. Dre says we will get an official Kenobi trailer soon, since we just got the teaser. That's my hope. I think we will. I know that there will be stuff. I mean, it's inevitable that we will see.
It's going to be TV spots for sure.
For
TV
sure.
Spots,
for sure.
15-second, 30-second TV spots. About a trailer, I wouldn't be too sure, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too sure.
Yeah. I mean, they when it said teaser, did it only say teaser because it was the first thing? Was it just an automatic? The first thing is called the teaser, even if it is all that we're gonna get. Are they that formal? Do they sit there and go, well, actually, this is a just so you know, this happens to be a trailer, friends. But we do have May 4th and May the 4th, and they're gonna want to try to sell stuff. So if they were smart, they would have T-shirts and stuff available for Star Wars on that day, and then they would have it like line up. They'd have it line up, okay.
Well, can I just say this? Like going by the way they're marketing Moon Knight got a trailer in January. The show's coming out in 2 weeks' time, and it's only gotten the teaser trailer. Like, we haven't gotten a full trailer for Moon Knight. We've gotten a few TV spots, but no second trailer. So Rob can think what he wants, but I'm telling you, I don't think we get a trailer. Yeah,
fight him.
He got 2 trailers for Hawkeye. He had 2 trailers for Loki.
All right. Oh yeah, I have to drop my Willow theory. I was watching Willow last night. My daughter asked me, she's like, "What's the Willow series going to be about?" So I was dropping some stuff about it, and it started occurring to me. So in the series, we have a character named Dawn, right? I'm sorry, Dove. And Dove's brother she's a princess, and Dove's brother is a prince, and he's kidnapped. And then that's what starts the journey for the whole thing. And then they get Willow involved, and it's a magical journey. Okay. I was thinking about it, and I was like, I wonder if Dove is going to be Alora Dannon's daughter. And then the baby from Willow, if we go like with the lineage thing there, because Dove Dannon sounds like a name to me. So my guess, my Santa's prediction, Dove Dannon. Throwing it out
They're
there.
Doing
Dove
the Stan Lee double letter names again, man.
I'm throwing it out there.
It's the Peter Parker, Matt Murdock, right? Sue Storm,
Mad Mardigan. Mad Mardigan.
Right, yeah, it's classic 60s. This is all of the Lucas. He grew up with Marvel comics. Doctor Doom.
Darth Vader.
No,
not related.
No.
I think he just fucked it up. Bo says, do you know why we haven't seen anything from the Ezra Thrawn casting? Yeah. Also, do you think that the rumored spinoff they'll have is true, since Ahsoka is just a limited series?
Saving that for Celebration, aren't they? That's what I think.
That's what I would think. I'm with you. I think that they would save anything for that. Also, I keep throwing it out there. What if Ezra and Thrawn are the final episode of Ahsoka? What if the whole thing is her trying to find them? What if it's about the journey to bring them out? And then, do we know that Ahsoka is a limited series?
No.
I don't think we've had it called a limited series yet. I could be wrong, but to the best
It's a
of my
teaser
memory,
series.
teaser
They
series.
might do a full series, but it's a teaser series.
If you like it, yeah.
Cheeky. He's so cheeky, this guy.
Yeah, I know this guy. I know. I hope he's right. I hope he's right. I mean, I want to see more like today, you know.
Yeah.
But we will see. But also, so yeah. So, anyways, if they do happen to be the final characters in the final of the episode, the characters we get in the final episode, for instance, if we find them at the end, they may want to save who's playing them. They may try and hide it. It will totally leak out. There's no way they're going to get him down in Manhattan Beach and it's not going to get out. I mean, so that would be kind of dumb. So they might as well just say like who they are at Celebration. But at the same time, like we don't really know what the scope of all of that stuff is. I hope it's more than that. I think it would be good if there's more. But I also like with these characters, I don't think it's like with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, you can't go too far. You got to kind of like sparingly use them. You can't, you got to really do it right. You can't mess around too much. But with Ezra, Ahsoka, Thrawn, like they could do just 100 episodes with these characters if they want to in the big picture. Like, whereas Obi-Wan Kenobi, you can't do 100 episodes with them. So I think it's just a whole different beast. And so they may not be in a rush. But I do know they're coming for certain. That is happening. So I'm not trying to talk it down, just trying not to let expectations get too crazy. I don't think this is the Ezra Bridger show. Talking Sith, do we think that Kira is who stranded Maul on Malachor? That's a good theory. I would imagine the comic books will probably start getting into it since they apparently aren't doing a fucking thing with either of those characters anytime soon. And doesn't appear to be the case anyways. So Robert St. Clair says, saw Jurassic Park 3 on the IMAX in 2001 at the Irvine Spectrum. Was a huge disappointment, laugh out loud. Rob, bringing up the Spectrum, brought up that old memory of visiting my relatives during the summer, laugh out loud. Yeah, that's Irvine Spectrum is where I saw Revenge of the Sith. That's where I saw that the first time as well.
I'll tell you the only thing that I thought was a letdown about Jurassic Park 3. At the end, when a weird guy from Lost shows up to greet them goodbye, I thought they should escape the island. And they kept talking about that dinosaur that was out in sea. And you kind of see like a damaged helicopter when they got there. As they escape, it should have been this giant kaiju, like the giant dinosaur comes out the water. It's like a Godzilla-sized dinosaur, and they had to like fight that to escape and shit. Like it didn't have a final end battle. It just kind of like weirdly ended. Strange.
I own the movie. I don't remember it. I remember liking it better. I was like, oh, this is definitely better than 2.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
It has pterodactyls.
JD, the MC says, I had a friend who worked for TFN. I heard some stuff. No surprise to hear this. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's a big organization with people that come in. Excuse me. I've never really understood like the angle of like wanting to like do something for someone else when I could do it for myself. That's always been the weird thing about like those big like mega fan sites that people join. Like I never tried to join like one. I mean, I was on the message boards, but I was just always like, well, let's go make my own fucking site. Like I'll just do my own thing. I never understood that.
Yeah, in terms of like submitting stories and working with editors.
If you're gonna do like, if you don't want to do it like in a big way, like, and that's the kind of like my recommendation to people. It's like if you want to just write an article every now and then, by all means, like, hey, send it to me. I'll put it out. If it's a good article from your perspective, sure, I'll put it out. Sounds great. But if you want to do like 15 articles a day or 5 articles a day or whatever, daily, weekly, whatever, like just do it yourself. Like do it for you. Don't do it for somebody else. But once again, that's, I'm not trying to talk people out of doing work for me for free either. I'll take it. But it's like, at the same time, I mean, it's yeah, you should do it for you. That's what I say. Doug says Picard season 2 went from better to just as bad or worse than season 1 in one episode. I never got around to trying that. I liked the show, The Next Generation, when I was a kid, and I thought I might try it, but it sounds like it was a lot of work, so I just never did. Doug says,
I just thought the whole premise was weird. I thought he
Yeah.
should have been like in a vineyard solving mysteries like Sherlock Holmes and shit like that in his old age. Like, shouldn't be out there running around like a fucking action hero at 92.
Yeah.
Weird.
The holodeck the holodeck adventures of Jean-Luc Picard. That's what I'd watch.
Just something totally different. Just something totally different. You know what I mean? Especially when you get older and you want to relive. What if you could? What if right now we had the ability to go on a holodeck and you're like, man, I want to go and just live in 1992 or 1990, or I want to go to the Star Wars premiere, and you could be like, Star Wars premiere, you know what I mean, 1997 or 1977, or the Episode 1 premiere, 1990. You could go back and live that shit. I don't know, man. It'd be hard to get me to do anything else, to be honest. Hey, holodeck, make a Toys R Us. I just want to walk the. Does it get the smells right? You know, like, I just want to know. Like, does it get the just can I see it from the scale I would have seen it when I was 8?
I hate to let you guys know what I would do if I could go back in time, because it wouldn't be any of that bullshit.
I know, Jay's like, go back and just kill Hitler every day. Just, you know. Like.
You got a lot of rage in you. A lot of rage.
Baymax says, at Dan Echo, sorry I pocket blocked you earlier on Santa's stream. I unblocked once I got home, but was out running. Got pocket blocked. The Talking Sith says, Rob, they just need to frame to what if Star Wars with the world between worlds, especially if they introduce it again in Ahsoka. Best use of it.
If they called it World Between Worlds and it's just like, you know, these what if like adventures, fine. I don't care what you call it. Like, I think that's where Tales of Star Wars or Tales of works, or I don't know, man. Like, if they would call it something stupid like Star Wars Opportunities, some stupid
World
shit
Between
like
Worlds, where Star Wars characters explore their bisexuality for the first time.
Star Wars options.
Story. Star Wars options. Super GX 360 says, sorry if I missed this, but any news on the Lando series? Production, plan, release, time frame? There hasn't been anything. I have to think that they're writing and working out ideas and stuff, and it's just in pre-production. It's definitely not a 2022 thing, and my guess is it's going to be a late 2023, if not 2024. If it happens, I think it will happen though. I think though, but it may end up. I don't know anything. This isn't me like dropping anything like on that front. Like, but it may have a similar lineage to Kenobi, where I was like, oh, we brought it in. This didn't work. We did this. This didn't work. We kept, and then now we got it all whittled down to what it should be, and it's ready to go. And I'm okay with that, because we could have it today or we could have it right tomorrow, and I'll have it right tomorrow. That's my take. And I think Kenobi is going to be a good example of that. Unlike Book of Boba Fett. Doug says, we need shows with more dedicated niche topics like racing. I've always wanted a Star Wars professional wrestling circuit. Yeah, I keep wondering if that's Taika's, not professional wrestling, but if it's like gladiators, because it shows like Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
Every time you say gladiators, I'm like, you ever seen a gladiator movie?
Yeah. You ever seen a grown man naked?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know. Can't help it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think there's like really like, I'm gonna say Gladiator was a big movie in 2002, but it's like almost like a genre of film that is in some ways kind of like forgotten. It's kind of like not really. I think you could call it. Can you call Gladiators a genre? Is that fair?
Say no different than pirate films.
Yeah.
I would say no. Specifically gladiator films, right? Like,
like ancient films like Troy, Kingdom of Heaven, all those type of films.
Yeah, and they've really all been targeted at like dads over the last, like, even since Gladiator was a huge film, but since they kind of like, when you really get down to it, they've mostly been like dad movies, not really necessarily like all ages fun endeavors, and you really can't do it if you're doing any kind of historical drama, because it's too gritty. There's too many titties. But with Star Wars, you can take the gladiator stuff and you can make it not that, you know. So, what are you a big fan of those films? I know that you You are a well-traveled young man.
Talking to me? Yeah, fucking I love ancient Rome, ancient Greece. I studied all that, so I love all those sword and sandals type films. I love Troy, and not many people love that. I love Alexander.
300.
Yeah, 300. Yeah,
That might be the last really big budget one done, right?
300.
I mean, they did 302, but none of that shit. I don't count any of that shit. I'm talking about like
Yeah.
the one that actually worked. I mean, they had Spartacus, the series. It's worked in television, So, and they got like the Viking shows now, Valkyries or whatever it's called. So, like, it's working in TV. So, yeah. And if anyone, to be honest, the last big Gladiator sequel was Thor Ragnarok, right? There's a whole Gladiator thing that Taika did there. So, makes total sense.
There hasn't been a real Gladiator sword and sandals type epic for a long time. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And like Star Wars picking that up. I mean, like when we heard like the stuff with Black Chrysanthemum where what's her name is really bringing him up, talking about his like old when he was the champion in the arenas and stuff. I was like, that's what I want to. That's what I want to see.
Shit, yeah, fuck yeah.
They were really selling something in that scene. So
you could kind of consider the God of War series at least. PlayStation 2, 3, the 3 era.
That's a great point because they're making a God of War TV show. They announced like a day or two ago, so actually 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, I think for Amazon. Yeah. For Amazon.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Junkbox. They should make a Star Wars pod racing show, pretty much a NASCAR drama for nerds. I want to see like Ben Quadraneros. He can't stop drinking. Like, Ben, we can't let you on the track, dude. You gotta stop drinking. He's like, I can't stop, man. I fucking can't stop. I lost Boot to Eve in '99, bro. It's never my life.
I want the pod racing series. I've been saying this since day one. I think like it's the volume, it works. Just get them on the pods. You know what I mean? You get and when you have the N1 Starfighter literally skimming along the ground like a pod, I'm like, this works. Give me the whole pod racing series. And I was like, just make it like Rocky, where Watto's he's old and shit, and he has to train some kid to be a pod racer. He's like, nah, not ever again. Give him a chance to make up for being an asshole, Yeah. Give him the Mickey role. Because young Mickey wasn't a good dude. You get that sense in Rocky. He was there with the big leagues, but he wasn't a good guy. And he's certainly not nice to Rocky,
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that we will probably have, something like that come out eventually. They will have to stop like making these character-centric shows. We'll eventually get tired. You know what I mean? Here's your classic character, and
something different, something out of the norm.
Mm-hmm. Baymax says, "I'm going to Portugal for the weekend." Woo! Well, that sounds pretty cool, man.
Fun, dude.
My buddy lives in Portugal.
Yeah,
he just moved his whole family there.
Really? Just said, "Fuck it, we're going to Portugal."
Yeah, they left California and moved to Portugal. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, there's like a whole like enclave of people from Portugal, not very far from me, and my drummer used to date a gal in that community.
We have a small Basque section in downtown Boise. Super nice, great food.
Salvador says, "Hi, from the Caribbean." So is it weird? So yeah, we go with it's Caribbean for the place, right? But it's Caribbean for the movie. Is that how it works? Is that what we've settled on for?
The Pirates of the Caribbean doesn't have the same ring to it. We like the syllables, Like I get it's Caribbean, but when you say it in the title, it's like X-Men doesn't work as X-Men.
Caribbean and idiot is what I say. That's me. No, that's pretty rad, Salvador. Right. Are you always there, Salvador, or are you on vacation right now? The young boomer says, at Junkbox, or a Dead Stick production show like Breaking Bad. Oh, don't worry, you'll have some fun.
Boba was your chance. Boba was your chance.
No. Don't worry, Kenobi has you covered. I talked about how there's a spice den. Don't worry, you'll see it. Baymax says other trailers are called official trailer. The fact they specified the Kenobi trailer as teaser trailer makes me think the main one is still to come. I hope so. I hope so.
Where's the Moon Knight trailer then, Rob?
I'm trying.
Where's the
I'm
Moon
just.
Knight trailer?
I'm just trying to manage expectations. You know. Junkbox says, "Is the Willow show going to follow the books?" No. Thank God. No. Nope.
That one time Chris Claremont decided to write a book. Fucking genius, huh? Such a genius writer. You know, I'm so glad they omit the artist's name on the books he writes for X-Men and just put his name on it, because clearly he was the real fucking talent.
Is that what happens? I don't know anything about.
Yeah, that's what happens, man. Like when you buy a trade paperback novel, it's X-Men by Chris Claremont or Hulk by Peter David. They don't put the fucking artist on there.
Oh, okay.
Ever since Image, it's what they do now, and I'm just so frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm like, so we'll write novels. Well, Chris Claremont wrote a novel.
Yeah. Those
Peter
books.
David had slightly better results with the Batman Forever novelization.
I read all three of them, and it was hard. It was hard to get through for me. You know, it just it went a little too hard fantasy. When Willow is it would be like writing Star Wars as hard sci-fi. When Willow is very soft fantasy, it's not Lord of the Rings at all. It's much more just fantasy Star Wars, and it just didn't have it just didn't work. I'm definitely, a part of me is glad that they didn't make the movies back then, if that's what he would have done. You know, Jedi Dig Sensei, best name on YouTube. Do or do not. There is no try nerds. Jedi Dig Sensei, passing on the knowledge. Thank you. We needed that. Baymax, I think when Ahsoka was first announced, they called it a limited series. Going to check. Okay, yeah, that would be, if you see what they call it, that'd be great. If it's a hit, they'll make more regardless. I think with the Ahsoka series, I think you definitely have that, unless the Ahsoka series is just meant to branch out. Like, here's Ezra Bridger's story now. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like if it's just meant to spawn a bunch of different shows, and that's why they're calling it a limited series. Because Ahsoka, I think Ahsoka necessarily, we'll see, but I don't know if we need Ahsoka being the main character, because we've seen that she works really, really well as a supporting character who comes in, and because of her power, of her being like a Jedi at the time that she is, there's not really being Sith lords to fight against and stuff like that. She really doesn't have a lot of huge problems. Like, we know she's going to win pretty much every fucking fight that she has. Generally speaking, it's almost a given, since she's almost a god in terms of her power. So she may be better as a supporting character in other shows than as the main character. But maybe I'm wrong.
I'd always hoped that in Terminator Salvation, they had sort of taken back the idea that, hey, you know what? Fate isn't what you make of it. It's all preordained. No matter what we do, it's going to happen no matter what. So John Connor knew he couldn't die until he meets his father, because he knows he has to send. So he was like this superhero, but only because he knows he can't die until he meets his father. And then when he meets his father, now it's like, oh, now I can die. And like, he gets killed, you know, like quite quickly. But like, you know, if you knew fate worked in your favor and you couldn't die until a certain moment, you could do all sorts of shit. I can't die. Like you'd almost be observed as a superhero, but just because you knew the future.
Yeah, I did like in that last Terminator when we just like, and then they're like, yeah, this is just a different one. I thought that was kind of cool.
He spazzed out there for about 5 seconds, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think my internet is going a little bit down. I saw the little bar.
It can only mean one thing: invasion.
We need that. We need that clip too.
Invasion.
Okay, so Baymax confirms. Yep, Ahsoka is a limited series on announcement. So let's also, as a collective little community, as our little tribe here, let's keep and see if we see that language come back or not.
Yeah, if it comes back as an official series, then we know it's legit.
Yeah, no, I'm saying as we get closer to it though, or as production, as production gets going, we start seeing stuff. Let's see if they keep saying that, because if they don't, it might mean that it has spawned more, you know. But Lola, I'll work for Junkbox says I'll work for free. Hey, Junkbox, you ever want to write something? Write something like completely.
What do you think I'm doing? I'm working for free right now. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm in the hole. I pay money for this show.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. I honestly on that one, but I will let you know that like that was like you got me like 2 jumbo jacks this month, and I am appreciative.
Yeah, I'm writing Shamrock Shake checks I can't cash right now.
Yeah, and I use coupons via the app, so it was only $1. Technically, you got like 4 Shamrock Shakes this month.
That's pretty cool.
No, we didn't have that many. Dummy. Oh, Dummy. Here comes Dummy again. Dummy Brother says, is Mando season 3 the last season? I've heard conflicting rumors on that. Have you heard anything on it? And you can call me Dumb. It's short for Dummy. All right, Dumb. Here we go.
Okay, Dum. Right? Remember Clone Sounds?
Yeah, so the Tatooine show heard that season 3 was going to be the final season. That's what they heard. What I know is that season 3 encompasses the final charter of the show, meaning it's about the resurrection of Mandalore. And as my scoop confirmed a couple of days ago, at least if the scoop is accurate, which it is, then you're going to have Mandalore restored. You're going to have everybody back. All the clans are united. So they said that, and I was like, it makes sense. And then the other thing is that we had what's his name from Breaking Bad, the chicken guy, the Grand Moff Gideon actor, and he was like the chicken guy. He was saying that there was going to be like 4 seasons, but that's when we thought Mando season 3 was the 4th season, and I still think that's correct. And for the record, I saw like I think it was Den of Nerds last night. I was like watching one of his things. He's got covering one of my reports, and he's like, "There's all this confusion, and like I'm hearing this and that." And I'm like, "No, there's no confusion here. Like what I said is exactly what I said. Like what I said is exactly what that's going to be." For the record, if you watch that his report yesterday, there is no as far as I know, there's like that flashback sequence is what I said. But anyways, I'm gonna throw it out. It's not for another show. They didn't film flashbacks for another show. They're not filming another show where that could go. I meant to bring that up earlier. I was gonna send Josh a DM, but I forgot. The Young Boomer Taika's film, The Tales of Terra's Dueling Ring, or Ben Dark Starkiller, a Star Wars story. Yeah, I'm curious if they're gonna drop the Star Wars stories thing after Han Solo. I hope they do. I don't think it really works. I think they would be
Star Wars whack'ems actually. Just because they whack them in the head. So whack'ems.
Do you think do you think they will drop a Star Wars story off of Han Solo and Rogue One? Do you think they'll change it just to Star Wars Han Solo?
It's going to be a Star Wars tale now. Everything's going to be tales. I have a tail. Everyone has tails. He's actually going to have a tail. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on right now. I'm just confused. Salvador says,
live in a big tree in Kishak, and whenever there's a problem, they're going to get coals. They're going to go solve those problems, then go back to the tree. It's going to be great.
Salvador is in Puerto Rico. I always listen from here. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I want to be that. I want to be that.
Puerto Rico.
I want to be. Yeah, I want to be like the newscaster from. Remember the newscasters from In Living Color who tried to say everything with an accent, and they would be like at first they're like Puerto Rico, and then but then later on, it's like something from like Ireland, and they're talking like leprechauns and shit. It was a pretty good sketch.
So good.
The Talking Sith says Moon Knight was labeled official trailer.
Where was the teaser then?
But it's not. The thing was, they never came out with one called a teaser. They labeled it official.
Where's the teaser?
That's what I'm saying. The fact that it says teaser, that means there's going to be another one, Chris.
The show comes out next week, Rob.
Always 2 there are.
The Moon Knight, it was never labeled teaser. It's labeled official.
All right, but where was the teaser then?
I'm not talking about the numbers. I'm talking about the label. This is not hard. You're just stuck in a no-win situation here, buddy.
It's a chicken or the egg. Chicken or the egg scenario. We're at an impasse, boys.
Listen, when there's another Obi-Wan trailer, what then? You're gonna be, well, you got it right. I know.
He'll probably come.
Yeah, that's all I win. I don't win anything. I just annoy you.
No,
drag the show out.
Chris will come and tell us.
Where's the Moon Knight teaser though? There's always a teaser then a trailer. So
I think Chris is going to come and tell us it's Revenge of the 5th or May the 4th. I think that's what he'll tell us. So Hawks Holocron says, that's just Josh loving the fence is all. Fair enough. That's how you get a glory hole. Villagin says, no one is picking up the fact that the fight seems to happen in a dojo. Will the Inquisitor be there like in Kanan's vision? Yeah, see, that's what I was like laying out is I'm curious if it's the same setting. And maybe, but for all I know, like when I hear like a training dojo, at first it was kind of funny when I first heard it. I thought of that Clone Wars room where all the clones train. Where I was like, I don't think the Jedi would be in there. That wouldn't really make sense. But anyways, we had a pretty good day. I'm gonna go listen to some Weird Al. Then I'm gonna go listen to Lola for a little while. Lola, it's a Star Wars story, and it's gonna be fun. I like that song.
See, the Moon Knight trailer has multiple personalities.
Okay.
Chris, right? It thinks it's an official trailer when it's actually a teaser trailer. When in reality, it's an official trailer. But
all right,
it could also be a teaser. Any given day, it changes.
I'm gonna give the official word, you guys.
I like spaceships.
Okay, that's the official word on this one.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then
Can I just say one thing before we get off the air today, Jason?
Of course, dude. Always.
Yeah, fuck the Force.net.
Oh shit! I don't have any problem with the Force.net personally. I just think that they have a stupid policy because they're afraid of internet backlash.
Come with the crop, yeah, sucking big dicks. No. Step into them Slim Jims. What?
I say suck all dicks. All dicks need love too.
I'm not. It's not a negative. I'm just. It's a party time.
It's party time. But thanks to Anthony for becoming a channel member today, and everybody who is a channel member, Patreon supporter, all that stuff. And if anybody wants the audio versions of the show, just let me know, and I will send you the RSS link if you're a channel member. And if you're a Patreon subscriber, you already have it, so you're set. You'll get that. All you do is you just take the RSS feed and you add it into your podcast app, whatever it is that you use, and you'll just get the show as a podcast every day.
Yeah.
So after it airs. And so, but thanks everyone. I hope, and if you're watching the show on a replay, let the whole thing play through. And that's always, appreciated if you're obviously already doing that, but thank you. And we'll be back tomorrow with the UFO show. Once we figure out the time we're going to do it, I'll what do you call it? Schedule it. So you'll just see a UFO show. You'll know like what time it is. That's how I'll announce it to you guys. So. And and then otherwise we'll be back Monday with our normal Star Wars antics. If any big news should break or happen, I'll jump on and we'll hit it. But I have a feeling it being 1:00 on Friday, it's probably not going to be anything else. But
you've said that before on a
famous
Friday,
last words on Friday.
I even joked about it. I'm like, they're going to do this shit an hour after we get off the fucking, and then did it. It happened
for sure. Yeah, but and then Talking Sith just as the final. I'm gonna give Talking Sith the final word on this. They just skipped the teaser, went over the teaser's helmet. Fair enough, dude. And check out the Talking Sith podcast. Fun show. I love it. And I think we're gonna have Mike Pappas on with us next Friday. Old Pappas. Old Papa Pappas. And so everyone, thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you guys on Monday and tomorrow with the UFO show.
I am not the creator of Mara Jade, and I want you to get out of this office right now. I don't want you here.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars show.